All right, welcome to the Modern Legends studio, which is my small garage that has no power, so I got a floodlight that's giving me some light in here. But anyway, things to know before you should buy one of these cars. I know there's like 255,000 videos about this, but I always like to put my take on it. I'm going to keep it really simple. First things first, go to AMG Meister's YouTube channel. He has, I believe, 2 videos about this topic that will go in depth as far as from 03 to 06, year by year, what is different on the W211 E55 as far as options is the biggest difference. The late 05 and 06 cars got a different planetary gear set in the back of the blower that allows it to spin a little faster. That's not that big of a deal, stock to stock. No one's going to notice it. The only time I've seen anything different about it is cars that are pretty well modified. And even then, it's not like, you know, an 05, 6 car is going to make 100 more wheel than an 03, 04. It maybe be 10 or 15, but it's not a big deal. Don't let that dictate the year you buy. 2003s had an issue with the radiator failing internally and getting coolant mixed with the tranny fluid because there's a trans cooler built into the side tanks of the radiators. That smoked a bunch of transmissions when these cars were new. Honestly, nowadays though, I would bet you dollars to donuts that most of those cars have been fixed. Whether they were fixed under warranty, they were fixed, you know, by the second owner or whatever. Because you got to remember, like, I am the 3rd owner of this vehicle, and it's an 06. But you got to figure most of these cars have got to have at least 3 to 5 owners by now. And somebody somewhere has probably fixed that. So don't let an 03 scare you. The nitty gritty as far as infotainment and that kind of stuff is irrelevant. It's 14 years old at its newest, so it's not even worth talking about. And frankly, I don't care. I just don't care about Apple CarPlay and that stuff. It's cool. Come on. Like, if you care about that kind of stuff, go buy a Kia, and it has like the best infotainment of all time, and get out of the fast lane. But I just want to address some things that I think are total baloney, that I read all the time when I see these videos in the comment sections or on forums or, you know, we used to have car meets. First thing first, and I'm going to go as bold to say, to get some YouTube shock value, that this is the most overrated problem with Mercedes far and away, is Airmatic. It's not that big of a deal. Get over it. Like, it's not. Sure, is it going to fail? Yeah. Is a steel string suspension car going to need something at some point? Yep. It's the same difference, dude. I love having hot adjustability. When I was younger and had more useless opinions, I always hated bags because it was cheater. Now to have a car that's on bags or an air suspension, it's epic, man. Like, I can't tell you how many times that I have eBay links on here. I just started this thing up. It hasn't been driven in about a week. And I don't know if you can see this. I have links. I usually drive around an Airmatic Sport 1. And I am tucking tread. Yeah, to be technical. I can clear everything, but I have had plenty of time where I've been with my in-laws at a restaurant and the driveway is steep and I just, it's not that fast. It doesn't make the noise either. But it allows me to get over speed bumps or steep driveways, and then you can get out and you can go back into stunner mode. It's epic. It's cool. It's not that expensive to fix. Airnaut and a bunch of companies make bags. The system is pretty cool how it works. It self-bleeds and levels. You just bolt in a new air strut. It's not that hard of a job. I haven't had to do it, but Alex at Legit Street Cars, another dude, one of my favorite YouTube guys because I feel like he is not fake. But anyway, check it out. He's got videos of him doing that on his E55 that he sold. So Airmatic, it's not that big of a deal. Number 2, these cars do not have a number 8 problem in the engine. That comes up every like 3 years about how the number 8 cylinder and the M113K goes. And, you know, my buddy's neighbor's dad's dog was a Mercedes mechanic and it was get out of town, dude. Let me tell you something about the number 8 cylinder in just about every V8. It's the last cylinder that gets coolant. So if your car is not tuned correctly, or you keep the coolant low, or I don't know what people are doing, the number 8 cylinder is going to go on just about every V8 first. So pro tip, stop that. rumor. It's not an issue. This car is 119 some odd thousand miles. It's the original everything. It has not had a problem. I know tons of E55 guys that have never had a problem with their number 8. So number 8, forget it. Are they reliable? I talked about that in my diatribe, which probably nobody watched. German cars don't live in the same universe as a Toyota or an American car. You know what I mean? They're way more complicated, and so they require more maintenance. I do not believe that, speaking of the W211 E55, I don't believe that that makes this car unreliable. I have had mine. It'll be 4 years in July. I have not replaced a bulb on this car, dude. Nothing is broken. It is fantastic. I'm not going to talk about E63's stuff. I already made kind of a video about that. Maybe I'll make a video about that, you know, coming from the perspective of never owning one. But anyway, so they're reliable. It's hard because you don't want to get into financial diatribes, but if you're not good with your money and you're not saving, any car is gonna really hurt you when it breaks. So I mean, I have never had to use any money, but I would say conservatively and probably overkill, save $1,000, put it in your dresser drawer. If you need to do bags, a bag is about $400. If you do it yourself, you got free labor. Most shops will probably charge you an hour or two to put it in. You know, so you'll be in there $600-700 to have a bag installed, and you're back on the road. You know what I mean? But I would say they are reliable. I've had great luck with mine. I know a bunch of E55 gears guys locally here that have had great luck with their car. Other than that, these cars are rocks. Things you should look for when buying: please don't buy a salvage title or a rebuilt car. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but just, I worked in the automotive industry for 20 some odd years, and yes, a salvage or branded title makes a difference. I don't care if you have pictures or their neighbor's buddy's friend, you know, is a Concours painter. There's a reason the car is classified as salvaged or rebuilt, because it's had some significant damage. Is that going to say that all those cars are never going to be right? And I'm sure some of them are just fine. But personally, me and people that I would, just don't do it. It's tempting because those cars are dirt cheap, but don't do it. Buy a nice, clean title car. Second point, sub point of that, buy a car that's been modified. It's hard to find records anymore. A lot of people don't keep their records. A lot of people don't maintain their car. I didn't get the physical records. I was able to chat directly, and I still actually have his contact information. The gentleman that I bought this car via consignment from, and he had done everything to it. And I've been underneath it and in it, and he's not full of it. The car has been maintained, and that's why I've had such great luck with it. So please buy one that's been maintained. I see Facebook posts nonstop about looking for an E55 under 10K. Don't buy that car. Like, you're going to need 4 more to fix whatever's wrong with it. So buy a nice one. I think that's it, guys. I really can't think of anything else, and I think that's a good thing. You're getting some real perspective from an owner. I don't monetize my channel because I want to put the songs that I like in videos. I don't care about that type of stuff, so I have no reason to make any false drama for you. They're a good car. Buy one. I have another video on this page where I talk about is AMG dead or dying. I think it is. I think it's got stage 17 cancer and it's over. And I think a late model AMG is going to be a car that you probably should get into now before they start to skyrocket. Maybe I'm a homer. Maybe I'm a fanboy. But I could see the 211 chassis, even in E63 form, which is not as reliable, start to appreciate. I think those cars might go up in value a good amount. And that is dictated a lot by where you live. I live in the Pacific Northwest. Car values are notoriously strong here. A clean E55 in my area, under, I would say, 130,000 miles seems to be the real kick in the nuts for resale. Most of those cars are between $14,000 and $17,000. I paid $16 and change for mine in 2017. I bought it out of Bend, Oregon. I know in some areas, East Coast, because cars just get murdered by salt, are a lot cheaper. But get a good one. You know what I mean? Take some time. But you should definitely buy a W211 E55. These cars are quick. This car will run with most things that are new. It's faster than the brand new Coyote Mustangs that would make the the slow Camaros the same. Obviously, those cars can be modified to be as fast as you want, but what I'm trying to say is if you buy one of these ancient Mercedes, you're not going to get embarrassed on a Hanway on-ramp or a stoplight or whatever you do. I don't particularly street race really anymore. But it's modern day relevant fast, as I'll say that. I've taken people for a ride and that are shocked by how hard this car pulls. It's bone stock. So yeah, guys, buy one. Do it. Don't buy an E63. Thanks for watching.